the most. Maybe they were scrolling from top to bottom, side to side. All of those are marketing gigs anyway. I can know that okay, do people spend more time with our resources or they spend more time with our programs? What does that tell me? It tells me to that means that people are going more for resources. I need to create more resources. Oh, they are interacting more with programs. Then I come to programs and make sure that that place is better. So these things help us to make informed decisions. But this can only happen if you are smart. The future belongs to people that are very smart. You must be ready to make, like I said yesterday, your money is in other people's pockets, other people's money. You must be ready to know that what does this person need and how can I milk it from them. So conclusively, it's just about creative thinking and creative storytelling. Thank you
Please,
very
round
much.
of applause, please. So, about now, I'll move straight to my guy at the top here, the lead consultant for Go Beer Ninja. So he'll be focusing on customer experience and management in the digital age. So, sir, this question goes to you. How is customer management transforming with new technologies, and what skill will be critical to professionals in this field by, let's say, 2035? So I don't know if you get the question right. So yes, that's the question. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, the question always have a seamless to what we said earlier, but I'll go a bit further, and I'll start off with what Gobia is doing. Now, identifying a need, you'll observe from all that has been said between yesterday and today, it centers more on you first of all identifying whether as the social person, whether as the marketing person, you must first of all identify what you need to sell, who you need to sell to, how you need to sell to. Because well, in all of this, you are doing what? You are building a solution. Once we call it benefits in the marketing terrain. Say, oh, that's the benefit. So when you use a phone, it has what? A benefit. Even though you are not using them one tenth of what is meant to do. But once you do, here, a go bear, for instance, what you have is what every other person has. And when you have to seek a job, you know what you do. And you are part of those who are probably be saying, oh, there hasn't been jobs in Nigeria. Oh, the government is doing nothing. Oh, the private sector is doing nothing. But this, for you to have information is very key. So what we've been able to do, we identify the gaps. There are jobs. I mentioned that. There are several jobs. And I guess Mr. Uche also mentioned that yesterday. There are jobs everywhere. But the truth of the matter is quite numbers of Nigerians are unemployable. Some are underemployed. We have people who work from home using their devices. They're making money. But they will also tell you they don't have jobs. We have people who actually want to work in a white collar environment, who themselves cannot even make do with a simple way of making a CV. A CV. So they prefer to outsource it to a business center. All right, who probably does not even know half of what you need. But because no, it's been there for 20 years. So you give them. Now, what we've been able to do from our end is for us to be able to understand the gap. Now, well, you might have left school, but you need to understand better how to structure a CV. It is what you impute in the platform that it gives back to you. So you won't fold your arm and say, oh, my AI, do this, do this. It won't. So if you have your age intact, not by line, you have your skill, however how small it might be, all imputed. You can be rest assured you have a very well polished CVs. So you won't have to give your CV sameness. You have a CV for marketing, you probably say you have a CV for this. You can structure a CV for you in a way you have. So what I'm saying in essence is what we have in all of this, your sameness, your understanding of what you want in market, what you want in life, and of course, what you have to give. I mentioned the empathy from your hand. Everyone has to ensure that is given per time. So whether you are working in a business environment or you are owning your own business, If you don't put the minds of the people first, what you do at zero. If all you hold after is the money, you get it only for a while, and before you become frustrated. So the skill that is expected of you, key, critical, is for you to have that empathy in you. It is what drives you, whatever you do to everyone. It is what drives whatever you do to the business you do. And the last thing will be the fact that the funds you are asking for, the money you're looking for, will draw in there and then. You have your Google today, your Yahoo Mail. For those who are much older, those days we were happy. It was a wonderful disruption to us. For some of us that were using the Nigerian home then, the info web of this world, some of us were paying. Oh yeah, to check your mail. In fact, you can't even check it. You have to get it done through an interpreter, so to speak, a business person who collect your mail from you in written. You write it down. They say go and come back in 3 days. You can imagine for you Gen Z. And that 3 days you come back, they say, "Ah, the reply has not come. Oh." And once the reply comes, they will print it out, staple it, and keep it for you. What you have access to today was nothing like that before. So it's what? It's a journey. In the next 10 years we've talked about now, some of the things we're talking about here will definitely not be relevant. But the human angle, which is the empathy I emphasized on, very critical. You can't take that out. So if you can be able to dissect customer management, be able to dissect the minds of the customer, yes. Without you empathizing with them, putting yourself in their shoes first, nothing will happen. It's a critical factor beside the other end you're looking at. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Please clap. And I hope you're all jotting things down because at the end of the panel you would have you ask your questions. Yeah. Yeah. So moving on, I would like to move to Madam Anita here. Shortly. This question, okay, yes, Madam Anita, she will be focusing on technical and problem-solving skill for emerging tech. So, Madam, this is the question. What core technical and problem-solving skill should youth develop now to thrive in the tech economy in the next decade?
Okay, so core technical and problem solving skills for
Yes.
youth in the next decade. Okay, I would say core technical skills. We've addressed some of the major ones here. In addition to those, so in addition to your AI, in addition to marketing, digital storytelling, I would say, of course, not to overemphasize, but data analytics skills. And when we say data, when I say data analytics, don't think it's the complex 8 to 6 week courses that you go and do on data analytics. That might not be your core, but just being able to look at information and make inference from it. It's like, as he explained earlier, you have a room full of people and they tell you, okay, what's the demographic within this room? You should start thinking around, are we talking gender? Are we talking age? Are we talking, skill sets? Are we talking, their departments or level of study and things like that? So you should be able to look at information, because if you are going to run a business, if you are going to work in an organization, whichever path you decide to choose, you need to be able to look at the data you have in that organization or within your own business and say, see, this rice that I'm selling is not working. Some people start businesses from emotions. I think I joined in yesterday and it was wonderful sessions. I think I joined your session and another session about business, having a plan, business model. It's the same thing within an organization. If you decide that you want to be in paid employment, you start to see issues around, okay, how are we even going to make money as a company? And maybe you have a marketing person in the organization and all that person does is, okay, design one flyer every week and that's it. And you have smaller companies around you, or you have MSMEs, or you have a group of market people around, and they are complaining that my customer is coming all the way from, say, Igondo to Aja to come and buy things from me, and they are complaining the distance is too far. The people around here, they don't really know me. I just moved here newly. That your marketing department within that organization can decide to start doing small MSME branding for those around. And that cannot happen if you have not looked, as in, you can't make inferences from data. So you need to think in that line. And even in your personal life, think about it. Don't say you want to learn a tech skill today and say you want to do software development. And you are like me, that mathematics, when they give us money to count, we count it 5 times because we don't want to end up in the police station and things like that. So if Python is going to swallow you, don't go to Python. Maybe it's UI UX. Maybe you are good at making things pretty. Maybe it's Canva that you are excellent at. Please go that route. Don't just jump and say this is the one that everybody he did software development, a front end, back end. Once you hear front end, back end like this, everybody, the money, let me go and do front end. You will be front ending and back ending with no progress. But if you make inference on what your skills are, what do you like, what have you done before, and but don't let it also limit you from trying out new things. Try. You have the advantage of age and time, and even if you feel like you don't have that advantage, my people say whenever you wake up is your morning. So if you decide today that maybe at 25, at 30, at 45, I want to start something new because it hasn't really been working, do it. And if you do it and you've done it for 1 month, you've done it for 2 months, it's not working, don't die there. Come out, try something different. So, in terms of core technical skills, making inferences from data, so simple data analytics within your own business, or if you transition into a employment as a 9 to 5. Then there's also, of course, we've talked about AI. We've talked about being able to be adaptable to use AI tools. Then UI UX and all of that. It's talked about storytelling. So content is the new oil, data is the new oil. If you're not telling your story, another person will come and tell it for you. And they definitely don't know your story as much as you know your story. So as we are scrolling through Aproko Doctor and Pella and the likes of them, and you're saying this person that is doing, I don't even understand what they are doing. You do your own. Start to develop your own content. Put your story out there. You've learned something in either pharmacology, civil engineering, sociology. Don't mind me, I'm calling you guys out because those are the courses I heard in the room. Whatever course you're taking, whatever experience you've had, either during lectures or things like that, you can turn it into content. You can turn it into, this is my story. They are asking for 5 years experience and all of that. Start building that experience now. Start building it in what you're learning, what you're doing. You might just do something for your family member or your friend and feel like, I just did that small thing. Document it. That's another thing. Another core skill is documentation. Being able is also linked to storytelling. Being able to put down what you've done and be able to sell it to somebody and say, this is what I did. And don't minimize it and just say, I just helped him design one small flyer like that, or I helped him do this thing on Excel and it wasn't a big deal. Yes, it might not have been a big deal because you have the skill, but it might be a big deal to one startup somewhere or one organization that's looking for that skill set. So in terms of core skills, those with core technical skills, those are the skill sets I have in mind. Another thing, and because my background is environmental management, is also sustainability. So I don't know if anyone has heard about green economy, circular economy. You've probably heard it with your, yes, thank you. You've probably heard it maybe when you're hearing about environment. They say World Environment Day. They talk about plastics and all of that, but it cuts across all the different sectors. If you go into organizations now, part of their CSR activities, they'll say, oh, we're planting trees or we are recycling. But if you go deeper into circular economy or circularity and green economy, it's even tracking down to, okay, why do I even school within this axis? Or why do I employ people that are around this axis? Maybe because the commute is shorter. So that way, I'm not stressing you or stressing the environment by having someone come from all the way from Okoko Michael to come and work in Ibrahim Adesoya in Aja. Or how am I even structuring like my courses? Say for instance, at TechQuest where I work, we thrive on hybrid structure because of our location. We're a bit laid back, we're a bit, the distance is quite a bit, and we understand that. So we're not expecting people to show up every single day. You now have to do things the hybrid way. Some of it will happen online, and then some of it will happen in person. So sustainability skills as well, being able to understand what is sustainability for the business, what's the start point, what's the end point. If you put this resource in, how do we make sure that at the end of the project, at the end of the business, at the end of my role in this organization, that somebody else that is stepping in or whatever is the next step for it, we're able to keep the resources in a loop. And it's not just that, okay, project is over, or you use, if you're talking simple sustainability like plastics, you use the plastic, the next thing it ends up in one landfill, and then we have plastics upon plastics upon plastics. Now people are converting it into another resource. You have pellets now, you use it for something else. It's the same thing. If you're going to build a project or something, think about the resources as well that you're putting into that project. If I put in this resource, at the end, what happens? Am I just going to say, okay, project is over? What of the impact? How does the project sustain itself? Like, where will the next project money come from? You should be thinking about that when you're designing whatever it is that you're doing. So, yeah, so in terms of core technical skills, that would be it. It's also interrelated to the other skills, problem solving skills. So it's design thinking as well. So before you start anything, it's like when you wake up in the morning, you know that you're coming to Yaba Tech. You're not just going to say, okay, I'm going to Yaba Tech, and from there, when I get to Yaba Tech, I'll figure myself out. It happens sometimes, but you also need to then say, okay, maybe I want to stop by the market. Today is a public holiday. I want to do one or two things. So I want to do such and such. So you plan the whole thing. That's the design thinking in it. As you're applying it to your own personal life and how you execute things, you also need to now apply it to different things. Innovative thinking as well. There's one story I'd like to share about innovative thinking. So I read up somewhere about what they did in India. Let me first ask, what would you consider in Lagos key problems in Lagos? Like when they mention Lagos, what's the first? Fantastic, fantastic traffic. What other problem? If you think of Lagos, waste, okay, traffic, waste. Am I giving them the answers? Let me pause here. Let me pause here. But yeah, so once they say traffic anywhere in Lagos, anywhere in the world, it's almost like you can mention traffic and everybody will say yes, it's Lagos. So traffic, you may also say noise pollution, waste, of course. So yes. Please don't finish the answers here so that you can do your assignments. But yes, I use India because I believe we are similar in a way. I love how India has sort of taken over the IT BPO space. So BPO is business process outsourcing. So for people who use, if you use a lot of apps, you see when you send out maybe an email or you have an issue, the person who contacts you is usually an Indian. Or customer service for some large apps. You just hear someone and it's a very thick Indian accent. And I don't know about you, but personally, I believe that Nigerians who are native Nigerians who speak English, our accents, I believe, this is my personal view, don't quote me anywhere. I believe that our accents are much more understandable than the native Indian who is speaking English to you. But somehow they've taken over that space. Why can't Nigeria do something like that? Why digress? Let me go back to my point. So the Indians, I don't remember what city in India it is now. They found out that they were having a traffic and noise pollution issue. And they were wondering, how do we solve this thing? Because everybody, the population is obviously is massive. It's massive. And then you now have all these cars on the road. People are trying to get to somewhere. Everybody is honking. Do you know who I am? Why will you go before me? See, why, what are you even driving? Is it keke? Is it this small keke you are driving? You want to come and pass where me? I'm passing with my big car. All of that. And then everyone's honking. The noise is everywhere. So they set up these traffic lights and they program them in a certain way. So what happened was these traffic lights are supposed to help with two problems: traffic, noise pollution. But if you see the traffic light, the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, this traffic light, you help people to stop and not stop. But we know ourselves, we're in Lagos. I don't think these yellow buses know what that thing. I think they see it as one very nice decoration that is just there, that is just flashing. They just move like as the spirit lead. If they decide to stop, it's all right. But red for stop is not a concept. It's like red is like, it's like I should go. It's like I should. This is the time I should speak. So these guys set up these traffic lights and they program them in a certain way. When people get to the traffic lights, it's expected, of course, red you stop, yellow you get ready, green you go. And then the traffic lights had timers. So what they did was, or what had happened was, most people would get there, maybe it's on yellow, it's almost green, and people are already honking. Move your car, I'm going for. Do you know who I am? Do you know where I'm going? They started to notice that the timers on the traffic lights, once you honk or there's a noise, the timer will restart from the beginning. So what you now had was, when you are at red and then you now have some very impatient individuals are already telling you that this your keke cannot be move away, and they honk. What you saw was counting down from maybe 90 to 1. You are now at 5, 4. You know that by 1, 0, you are ready to move. By the time one person will just go, we are back to 90. So everyone realized over time that if we are here and you are not patient and you start with that noise, we will all be here. We will all remain here. And that sort of innovative thinking now made it in such a way that everyone was now looking out for the other person. If I drive in a way that I know that, okay, it's counting down, it's almost time to go. I know that I need to restart my engine. It's time for us to move. I don't want anybody to come and honk. And then if there's one yellow bus kind of character in the movie, and you see that person is approaching, you have to actually, how's your day going? We're almost there. You see, once it gets to 0, we'll start moving. Just calm down. So everybody became everybody's keeper. And that level of innovation somehow, in some way, managed to help them with their traffic and noise pollution issue there. So those sort of skill sets in thinking in that innovative manner is what people are looking for in your in the world of today. So you need to be innovative in your thinking. You need to also be able to be good with storytelling, because you can be, so many people are doing so many fantastic things in this country and all over the world. But there are some of them that, because they don't have access, it's just like Mr. Kalu said about the lady whose parents sell fish in Makoko. There are some of them now, if you go on Instagram, you see people that it was just one post that someone who went to their shop to buy one thing or the other did. And now they have customers from all over. And they, in fact, they can't believe that they had that sort of market access until someone put them on social media with one post. Okay, get ready with me today as I go to Makoko to buy 5 cartons of fish. Before you know, Mama Sariu now has people from Ikoyi coming, sending messages for her to send fish, crabs, all of that. But if you are not telling your story, there's nobody there to tell your story. You can decide. Maybe you don't want to work in a normal organization, in paid employment. You want to do your own thing. Then take that time and do the research. Look around you, where you live, where you go to school. What are the problems? That problem identification skill is also very key, because if you don't even see it as a problem, you just, they say if you sit in something for so long, it stops to smell, because you don't even see it as a challenge. But when you see something and you can identify what the problem is, and then you look at it and say, okay, this is what you believe the solution should be, and don't just talk about it like we do in Nigeria, that we are doing this round table discussion, and we all do round table discussion,
in
and
the
yes, round, next thing
first
is
one.
another round table
No, see, I do the test now.
you have to
Infection.
also,
Unless you get
the
sweat
actual
touch your
where the
body.
key is, as an individual, as a part of a collective, as whatever it is you are doing, you have to also do. So that can do attitude and spirit should also be there. I think I'll just end with adaptability and also collaborative skills. Okay, I'll add another layer as well, cyber security skills, because we've all gone online now. Things are, on the web. We are doing all manner of things online. AI has even come to confuse some people, because you now see people that are making videos, they are getting into a helicopter. You're wondering, since when did Okechukwu become a pilot? And then when the video is playing, Okechukwu, one leg is in the so-called helicopter, the other leg is twisting in another way. If you send it to maybe your mom's WhatsApp group, everybody will be congratulating Okechukwu on his new pilot license, and will not know that it's an AI generated video. So part of the skills you also need to have right now are skills. Of course, you learn AI, you are able to identify the products of AI, and then of course cybersecurity skills to be able to identify those threats that exist, be able to separate what is reality from what has been engineered, right? So those are very, very key skills. And then for adaptability, don't go into anything and say, this is what I studied, that's what I'm going to do. Or you go into an organization and they say, oh, please, could you do this? Or we're looking for someone to do that. Be ready to apply yourself. Be ready to also be adaptable. Be ready to say, okay, I may not be qualified for this thing yet, but I'm going to step up and do it. And then learn collaborative skills. Learn how to use all the collaborative skills that exist, all the platforms that exist. No, you might not be a pro at it, but learn the basics so that in whatever situation that comes up, you are able to step in, you are able to deliver. So that's it from me.
Thank you very much. So I would like to say something, because she mentioned something about India's population. I mean, you can imagine the population in India. I don't know. I'm just thinking though. Let's assume an Indian man is trying to like shout as the next Indian man. You know they dance a lot, and you want to like fight the Indian man. You're like, dun, 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 dun. I'm going to work, and you're like, pee, pee, pee. Come on, what's going on? Where are you going to? I see the man dancing and trying to tell the other person to come on, give me chance, let me go, because they have over 1.4 billion, right? I mean, those guys, 1.4 billion people in just one go. But that's crazy too. But anyways, before I move next to my next panelist, please, I would tell you all this. Hope you are all jotting things down because you ask questions and also they will answer your questions, and also our online people who are streaming online. Also have in mind that you will also ask your questions as well. So please, you can take pictures. Like I said before, you can take pictures and share on your social media platform with our hashtag. We have our hashtag for the event, and also today is World Youth Skill Day. Yeah? So you can use WS. Okay, yeah, WYS. Yeah, the hashtag WYXD, right? And post on your social media platform. So yeah, briefly, I would like to move straight to our next panelist. Aside from that, you are aware about what you said about the traffic lights in Nigeria. We have red, yellow, and green. Like that's a normal thing, yeah. But in Nigeria, they are different. In Nigeria, red means fast, 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 fast. Yellow means do fast, do fast, and green means stop. So yeah, so I would like to move to Ruben Kalu, who is a lead consultant for Strom Digi. He's focusing on global competitiveness in business and education. So, sir, this is the question. I'll say, what future skill will young Africans need to complete internationally in business and education ecosystem?
Business and education, right?
Ecosystems.
Okay. Wow. That's from Africa.
So,
Yeah, like when a lot has been said about the skill sets around this part of the world. She mentioned something that, we are actually better off than the Indians. And what she said makes a lot of sense because in remote jobs, Nigerians are far better. They like Americans like Nigerians because we are adaptable. They can understand your English, and we are very kind of emotive. They like our spirit. That's not how the Indians are. An Indian man will steal your password. He will not. He will build your website and he will not give you your login details. Indian man, they have a lot of. There are a lot of that. There was a comparison between the Indians and Nigerians, but we need to come up, like she said. We need to come up. We need to build, you know, um, a lot of there are, like we say, a lot of opportunities. We have people in the SEO sector, the DevOps. You understand? We have several areas that we need to build capacities in. For instance, in the like we mentioned in the educational sector, the online space, you can see that many schools here are not. I mean, I don't know if Yabatech is. You can take your courses online. Is that happening?
do they? Yes. Do you take your classes
Okay,
online, like online classes? Say that again. Oh, code first
they have
students.
okay they have a
Oh, so yeah,
platform,
like part-time students, so they have
but
a
I can tell you many universities in Nigeria don't even have that facility. They don't have that infrastructure. Okay, because I remembered there was a time last 2021 when Nigerian students were being shut out from schools abroad because of dollar. There was scarcity of dollar during Buhari regime. So many students had to come back to Nigeria. So I had a friend. Um, we went to Pan African University, and they were asking, "Is there a way we can help to, target those people and bring them to their school?" Particular kids say that the way they see Nigerian universities, go online, check them out, they don't look attractive. First of all, their websites are not good. They are not attractive. They look like I don't know how the guy was trying to explain, some other universities, and it's true. I don't know. Have you checked your website? How does it look like? Can you compare with a school? Because most schools in UK are just like a flat. Do you understand? And but their website look like they are very big. You understand? They look big online. That's actually what I'm trying to say. So, but we were able to convince this guy, and he came back to Nigeria. We're like, wow, this school is very good. I mean, he was wondering what he was doing in the UK, and he finished from here in Nigeria. And he was very, very excited about it. So the question is, we need to build our capacity. There are easy things. There are some ERPs and school management systems that schools need to do what adopt for their students. Do you understand? I mean, if you, for instance, you get a school abroad, you stay here, you can register, pay your school fees, enlist get into your room from here. You pay for everything. You can see everything is already here before you even get to the university. But here, I remember when we were in school, to pay school fees is war. We need to line up. That's one. Then you start looking for your hostel. Does this still happen today? I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? So somebody had to build those kind of infrastructure, and schools need to find a way. And again, I had an extra year because my one, if they say the result was missing. Why? They said they could not find it. I passed the course. I had to retake that course again. So what happened? Record system. All of these things, they are an opportunity. That's why I say it. It's not a problem. It's an opportunity where we can build those skills, and school can actually leverage on them, and that will be an advantage. That's actually what I'm thinking within that educational sector. Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please clap for it. I hope we are all following up, and we have our questions. Yeah. Also, for our listeners online, people who are streaming online, please, you would also have a chance to also ask your questions if you have any questions to ask. But thereafter, I think I have a general question I would like to throw to every one of our panelists here. And question those talks. So 1 minute, please. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I want to ask this general question to my panelists here. If you could propose one national policy, or a program to better equip young people with future-ready skills, can I ask, or can I know what would it be?
So can you come again?
Yes. The question again, I said, if you could propose one national policy or program
Okay.
to better equip young people with future-ready skills, what would it be?
It's very easy. They should bring entrepreneurship to the schools. That's the thing. Sorry?
Your mic, is it on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They should bring entrepreneurship to the schools. We did a
Okay.
training for Covenant University. I know they are very strong in entrepreneurship. I don't know about your school and other schools. If it's not a policy, they should bring it down to the even nursery levels. My children, I'm teaching them how to develop skills, one, and deploy those skills to start making money. They have their own accounts. I can't even remember the last time I put money there. These kids are making their money. My son is doing animation, and I don't want to just limit him to doing the skills alone. They must find a market. There has to be a market that requires those things. He makes them, and the way I teach him, I begin with the end in mind for him. I say, see market, see what they need. Oh yeah, start. He was drawing. He started by drawing. Then I said, okay, animate these things. He started learning it, and now he could animate the drawings. I said, okay, you know what? Can you and your sisters tell a story? A whole story. All these cartoons, there is a story. Can you get a very nice story? I think that's the level where he is now. They want to develop a story first, then they'll start drawing the whole thing. At the end, it will animate it, and it's gonna be I will produce it myself. Do you understand? So entrepreneurship is key. Now the guy now is trying to. I mean, he's just 11 years old. He said, I told him, see, we told him how much Ronaldo is worth. Okay, and the club that bought him. I said, do you know why this club became very rich? He said, well, I said, because of Ronaldo's followership. Why would this club pay this amount of money to Ronaldo? And he asked me, okay, so why would they pay? That's still the amount of, why would they pay that? If fine, the club has calculated, if we pay this guy this amount of money and he accepts to come to Saudi Arabia, you know what happened? He's coming with both his physical and spiritual followers, virtual followers. Because immediately the guy went to the club, all the followers, you know, they came and they sold his jersey. I mean, if you see the business model, how much this club made by followership, it's a lot. Branding and followership. I told them that's how you need to start. Okay. When we start this thing, once you see the market, you need to be able to create a solution, okay, and see how you can be able to leverage on the numbers, and the money comes. So, and and again, so that it doesn't keep thinking about money. We're also teaching them how to be charitable, so that because money is a currency, it has to pass from one place towards the other. Okay. Thank you very much. And
Thank you
that's
very
what
much.
I interpret.
So, Mr. Alex, do you have it?
All right, thank you. Looking back, it's sad that the kind of country that we live today is not a future focused country. But if I was to work on a policy, it would be very close to what they are saying, to bring down these accelerator programs to down to the base level. Talking about from secondary schools, not after NYS. Most times, most of the skills that are usually taught are usually after NYS. You come out of school, when we're younger, some of us are, were born in the 90s, you hear that they'll say, is that you go to school? If your head cannot carry book, you learn a trade. It was just like that. This child is not brilliant. Go and learn vulcanizer. Go and learn how to sew. Go and learn barbing. These days now, as you're in school, you are learning barbing. You are learning photography. You are learning graphic design. You are learning animation, 2D, 3D, Figma, this one, everything. Because it's tougher. I remember when I was in school, okay, because of my writing skills, I could tell stories, I could write fiction, I could just sit down here now and imagine stuff. On my way home, I saw a bird and a downfall driver fighting. It's just I'll speak. Uh, as I'm getting home, I'm already thinking of two lines, how to pick, and before you know, a story has come out. And people are like, this thing is interesting. Well, I didn't know. It started like that for me. Then, because I'm very visual, I went into photography, I went into media, videography, video edit. I know all of this stuff. That's on the side, anyways. I made money from it though. When I was in school, I called my auntie in the UK. Luckily, she bought me a camera, one Sony. So I was very happy. I started photography, Sir Alex Photography. I branded it. Started doing photography, 100 level, 200 level. I was very good at photography. Go to girls' hostel because they were the main customers. I know my target audience. I go there as I'm going to ask, you're doing birthday? I can take a picture. Really? You have a camera? Yes. Let's go. We'll go to motion ground. Like every school usually has that place. That's always fine. We'll go there. As I'm going there, that same day, I'll meet another customer. Because I was say, my own birthday is on Saturday. On Thursday, but no, cannot do it school day. Saturday. I'll book two people. The friends that came with the person that did birthday, they will see their picture. When they are school, you like this one? Should I be able to print it? Yes. Printing was 15 naira. I'll collect 200 naira. Sharp, Abi. I don't do anything. They will not be pick me. I want them to pick more. This one is fine. You know when you're taking picture. This one is fine. Before you know, they have picked 20 pictures. Me, I'm happy. I just go sit down my Photoshop, edit it. Those days, there was not even Lightroom. I think Lightroom came much later. Sharp, Photoshop editing. Go to place print. I've made money as a student. I was earning comfortably. I was okay. Then, I moved on from there. And one day, I just saw that before I didn't even know what was e-commerce. I didn't even know it was even e-commerce. I just noticed that I was a bit popular on campus. I didn't even do any SUG. I was just popular. I don't know how it happened. I just know people. People know me. So I noticed that people always call me to say, "Sir Alex, I need a painter." Painter. Somebody needs you. One day I sat down, I was like, I think money is flowing through me. And I said, then I said, that's when my first business name came. I said, I think I'm a link. Should I name it a link? No, it didn't make sense. Let me put an article. The link. I am the link. Then I said, okay, let me make it more. No, and I put associate. It's only me. The associate, there's no the S, there's only one person. And I name it the link associate. Fine name, makes sense. Because I'm a designer, I know how to use canvas. I did logo. Before you know, I branded it. I was in school, this was like 300 level. How was I doing? E-commerce. You need a painter. I know a painter. This is painter. Painter. How much will you paint? One room, student room, 2,000. 2,000. Thank you. 3,000. 3,000. You give me 10%, 300 naira. I give you 2,000. You don't have business with the owner. You don't understand the idea. I've collected from this person. I've collected from this person. That's what Jumia does. That's what Bolt does. That's what Uber does. That's what they do. Uber does not have car. Both does not have their own car. They don't have their own vehicle. They just use people. They use so which I was using people to make money from A to point B. The point is the house is painted. You like the job, no problem. So what I will not do is so I started enlisting people. So I will now write in my jotter, baker, painter. Things I know that students will need. People that go to market. Some people are lazy. And I have some place. Alpha, you like going to market. Alpha, if you want to help somebody to help me to buy things, market list, how much will you like? I'll collect like 1,000 naira. Okay. Your market is 2,000 naira. This is on every product, I was even at like 100 naira. And like that, that's how I started my first e-commerce business till today. That and this was so why did I share that story is that you can start from anywhere. You just needed to think. You just need to. It was just one day I saw it. How is money flowing through me? And it was an opportunity for me. And I started that business until today. Now it's a more pronounced business now. Of course, I still work in the 9 to 5. Thank God my boss is not here today. I'm happy. I still work in the 9 to 5, but I still earn like on a personal business. I have like 2 other side businesses that still like pay me, without me doing a lot. You get what I'm trying to say is that our government now, back to the government, is that they should bring up policies that brings accelerator program to secondary schools and not after NYSC. After NYSC is such a far time before you realize what you want to do with your life. You need to from secondary school. I'm talking about digital marketing, content creation, data analytics. Look at a young boy is already doing 11-year-old. I have a boy too that is already coding. This boy was coding as way back as 6 years, 7 years old. He's about 11, 12 too. Now that boy is good in Nigeria. Yeah. He's a guru at 11 or 12. So you cannot imagine that boy and me now. In the next only couple of years, if that boy wins a grant, you'll now be saying, how did this boy get? Even you that have it, you'll be surprised. So the idea is that we need to bring it from the ground level. Let the government bring up policies that will make people learn these things early enough. Not after NYSC, not after school. And I like what he said earlier that you don't have to wait. Don't wait till you graduate. I didn't wait. Look at all the things I told you I did. Aside from writing, I made money from it. I got an award from Lagos State Government. I did an article on the lens, Lagos from the lens of Sir Alex. So what I did was I picked every area in Lagos and I wrote a story about it. Oh, VI is the twin sister of Lekki. Lekki is the bastard child that came from Ojo Elegba. Maybe I can still share the. It was maybe 08, 09 there, but I got an award from. Yeah, it was really beautiful. What did I do? I just sat down and I live in Lagos. I grew up in Alagomeji here, by the way, and Muritala Mohammed. I grew up seeing all of this, so I felt like, let me just tell the story about it, and I started writing. It took long because I had to start asking questions. What's popular in Bariga? What makes Onike? All this place. I used to trek. I went to Lagos City College in Saboyaba. So, my artist was Onike, which comes with all these St. Fimbas, Iwaya. So I know all those. So I started reading. So I started remembering the things I remember when I was the ones I didn't know. I asked my dad, what's common with Ojo Elegba, Bariga, places like that. And before I wrote a whole article about Lagos. I'm saying that you can make it don't wait till when you are older. At every point, some of us, it's painful that you feel like, I realized it late. Like I told you yesterday that I realized after I did my first master's that I was wasting my time in virology. When I knew that I'm a marketer, I'm a salesperson. I know that I can talk to you and sell that barrel in your hand to you and tell you that it's the best barrel in the world. What am I doing? What am I reading Escherichia coli for? And all the stupid species that was in my head. It didn't make sense to me. It was not you. I was never a science student, but I didn't know. The reason why I was a science because I was brilliant. That was the law. So my teachers thought, this boy is brilliant. You know that time SS1A, A class is at the brilliant student. So it was just prestige for us. And going to a public school like Lagos City College, it was I was proud. that Tinubu was governor back then. So you can imagine how many years ago. I finished secondary school 07. Some of you might not, maybe you are still very young, you know. But so it was because I was brilliant. My teacher just thought that this boy. But me, I can talk if you leave me, I can talk from now till tomorrow. I can argue, I go for debate, I can draw, I like music. I started playing guitar at a very young. I was just musical, artistic, debate, talk. Please tell me how is that science? But because I was just intelligent, I was passing physics, I was passing inter science, they just taught science class. And then it disrupted my journey. I went like that, studied virology, BSc, did food security for MSc, and then after MSc, I felt unfulfilled. Look at how long it took me. It doesn't have to take you that long. But after my MSc, I realized that I'm wasting my time. This, and I took a bold step. I said I'm crossing to management, and I went to do my MBA in marketing, and I'm starting my DBA in marketing also in the next few months. So don't let it take you that long. I'm regretting it, but I'm happy. I'm making money. I'm happy. I'm feeling fulfilled because I'm now in my state where like I'm comfortable. You get it? I wake up and I'm thinking of marketing. I mean, you glory me like my head is. I'm intelligent. I know that this thing. I know it. If you talk about, when you are confident, you know that if they. And I'm not saying that you should go into my field. I mean that your own field too. It can be sure for you. Like if they say they are retrenching staff, you will not even be me in this organization. I sure me die. They cannot because you have to be at the top level, be a top-notch person that when they even anywhere they want to, you know that yes, when they met this person, we cannot. It's not somebody that we can push back. You get so. I would if I was going to give a policy, I would say again that it should come from the grassroots level. Let these kids learn at the younger age from secondary school. At least a child secondary school is intelligent enough to know their right from their left. Let them learn from them and then go upward in life. It helps. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Because like I was trying my best to forget what Mr. Ruben said when he said he has an 11-year-old. Oh my God. And you reminded me. But anyways, if I was to be, should I say, if I had the pen power to do that, I would definitely sign that because come on, that's good. Please, can I hear from Anta?
Okay. I would say, the thing about being on panels like this is when you have just intelligent people all around you, sometimes you feel they really addressed everything. But well, I'll speak from the angle of if there was a program that I would suggest. Um, and I'll speak from the gender lens because in case you didn't notice, I'm kind of like the only lady on this panel. And I'll also speak to the ladies in the room because what tends to happen sometimes is when we hear wonderful stories and wonderful things. If you remember that list that Mr. Kalu shared at first, I'm sure you would notice that. I guess it was just Oprah was the lady on that list. So sometimes as women, we also tend to not to say please. I'm speaking to everybody, but I'm speaking to my girls as well, my ladies in the room. You tend to believe that in that whole grand scheme of being future ready and being innovative and all of that, that there's no angle for you, but that's not the case at all. So if I were to sum it all up or put it in perspective, I would say, how they say tech is the enabler? I'd say collaboration is the pilot. Tech will enable it. You have to, of course, lead with tech because that's what multiplies things. But you see, the thing that will get you there quickest, a plane, the pilot that will get you there quickest is collaboration. So take, for instance, as a female and you're looking to enter any particular route, any maybe job or any business or anything like that, always think in terms of how do I learn from those who have done this before, and how do I leverage either the network I have or those who have done this before me, those who I look up to. So if I was to design a program now that was addressing future ready skills, one critical part of that program would be mentorship, apprenticeship. Because as we say, there's so much value, there's so much innate value and skills that we have as individuals and as Nigerians. But what tends to happen is you say, but where are these opportunities? I'm still in school. I don't have the money. I feel I'm too young. Sometimes I feel I'm too old. Where do I find these opportunities? How do I get into this space? Someone is already doing it at 11. When I was 11, I was still just buying things. They were still sending me on error. I didn't even know what all these things were. What's coding? What's Python? The Python I know is the big one that will swallow you. So there's that importance to have people that have gone ahead of you, people that have done this before you, to look up to ask for advice, to be the sounding board. Those people that a basic way to do it as an individual would be, if you want to enter, maybe if you want to become maybe the next best medical doctor or something, you go on LinkedIn, you find individuals that you've probably seen on the news or individuals that you look up to, follow them, just get a sense of what their story was. How did they start? What are they doing now? Find the similarities or even the differences that you have, and start to highlight those things that you feel that if you improve on, you get to the stage that this person is or even surpass it. So for programs and for activities that will prepare you for future ready jobs, there needs to be that key element of mentorship. Find someone that has done it before or even has an idea, and align with that person. Aligning with the person is not just, oh, I want to do, okay, I want to start a business in fashion. I know that you are maybe what's this big you are, what are the big fashion people that you know? uh Just say it's not just about saying, oh, I look up to you, I want to enter the fashion business. It's also, what's the value that you are bringing to that person. So if you find someone who's done something ahead of you, start thinking of what can you do for them. Okay, probably they don't know you in the spaces that I'm in, or this is what I'm thinking about in terms of, oh, maybe it's a sustainable fashion. I know a lot of people that they are tailors in my area. Every day they are churning out Ghana must go bags of fabrics that they've cut and they are no longer using for anything. There are some fashion designers there that are, they work with people that turn those scrap into new fabric and things like that. So you can offer and say, I know these people, I can get you that supply. I want to probably be an apprentice under you and learn this. You're not coming with your hands just open and with that take mindset. You're also going with a what can I give mindset. So mentorship, apprenticeship is something that the Igbos have done it with their apprenticeship systems, and when you actually study under somebody. Because what tends to happen with some people is you either go into a career or a business and you hear about one wonderful startup, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, the app has disappeared from App Store and all of this. You are not even hearing about them again. It's either things failed in their operations, they can't scale, or some people is on the other side. They probably pack people's money and they've relocated to one place or the other. But the way to do it, the way that you now become the Coca-Cola, the way you become the Twitter, the way you become the Telegram, the way you become all these things is find someone that has done it, mirror them in a way, give value. So I feel that's what's missing in a couple of programs and the policies that we have in place. So it also helps if you are looking to work outside the shores of Nigeria. I also believe it's what the Indians have managed to do in the way that they've been able to penetrate different sectors and different organizations, why they're now providing large scale customer care. Because what's hard about saying, okay, in Yabatech, where Yabatech has that BPO as customer service provider for, say, OPay, so that if there is any issue, if there is any downtime, lag time, or anything, you have 10,000, 500, 1,000 Yabatech students that just go in, log in, they have their profiles there. You are taking your classes, you are doing what you are doing. But when you have your free time, you know that you have a job somewhere. You know that you have someone who has done this before, who is a guide there. And then you log in, they send you the tickets, you are able to solve. That way, whether you are learning computer science, whether you are learning mechanical engineering, whatever it is, you are building your skills in customer service, technical customer service as well. There's nothing stopping that from happening, except for we're not really thinking in that space. So, as an individual, you should be thinking in that way. And when you find opportunities to align yourself with organizations, with people who are training, with the bright minds that you come across, with organizations like Career Care, Go Beer, or TechQuest, all of them. For instance, in TechQuest, currently we are implementing about 2 programs. One of them is 3MTT. Has anyone heard of 3MTT in the room? Yeah. Yeah, so it's a federal government intervention, and currently they're having the Deep Tech program for 3MTT. So Deep Tech, like I said, Deep Tech it's an AI program. So you come and you learn AI for free. It's government funded. So if that's something that you're interested in and you probably have some experience and you're looking to learn and you are saying, oh, I don't have the money, that's a program you can leverage. I'm sure there are more, but these are the ones I know about. There's also ICSS that we're implementing. It's together with the German government, with SMEDAN. SMEDAN is the small and medium enterprises organization of Nigeria. So we're implementing programs for those who have come out of school or are looking to come out of school, and you are thinking, do I even want to work for somebody, or do I want to start my own D-Link Associates? So those sort of things, that's what you are learning in ICSS. And then in ICSS, you probably have like a wonderful business idea. You want to start your own school, but you don't know where to start. So you go to the likes of SLA, they'll take you through what it means to have a business model, your own business model canvas. Like has been shared, there's money in several places, but people won't just hand you money when you can't even tell them what you're doing and what the value is and why it's needed. So never underestimate the the power of having a good mentor or a coach. It's like having a crush. Like when people say they have crushes in relationship, that's somebody that you look at and you're like, if this person was my friend now, do you know where my life would be? Have a crush in business or in paid employment. You want to become a lawyer, a civil engineer, or something. Find a civil engineer crush. That the crush is, I've seen how this person has done in their career. That's how I want to be. I've seen how this person has done in their business. That's how I want to be. Think about it along those lines. All the big companies started somewhere, so start somewhere as well. So that's it from me.
Wow. It's a big one. I'll start with this. Career Care, thank you so much for this program. Guys, I'd like you to give a round of applause to Career Care. Yeah. And I'll give you a reason why. Someone like me, perhaps everyone here probably will not be here in our offices getting things done. But one key thing they've been able to bring to the fore here is information. All right? You don't have information, you get disinformed. You spend most of your time on your devices. Oh yeah, 3 hours, 4 hours. At a time, there are times you don't even have the money to buy those things. Your data. I need data sub. That's your word. Daddy, data sub. For what? The question is, if you are thinking of a smart future, which already started, the future is here. As small as the house chores at home, your house chores at home, they call you to do some cleaning, you grumble about it. They call you to do this, make a mockery out of it. I'm afraid the future will not be. We've talked about people, kids like us here, who felt I need to learn something to up whatever my parents are doing. That means the person already listened to what the parent has been doing. You won't have to do everything or ask your parents to get everything done for you. No. If everyone here has done that or has gone through that route, I'm afraid they won't be here. I'm being blunt here. We've talked about the smart. Yes, being smart starts from somewhere. So if you are not in that league of getting things done by yourself from home, and you want it up there, no, you don't give what you don't have. You only give what you have. So you need to much more be involved with your parents. Be involved with the things around you, around the society. Yes, some of you don't bother. Yes, you don't need to get plates from home. You use you buy things from home, and the plates you get there, you also dispose it of. Not a bad idea. But at times you need to ensure that what you do, you manage it well. If you don't manage what you have, you can't be rest assured. You can't manage what you're going to have. So becoming smart. When Mr. Carlos said he's not sure whether the universities are doing entrepreneur, obviously they are doing. My son is in LASU. They call them, there's these two courses, entrepreneurship and economics. That's what he's studying. And they make it what? Some are studying just a particular course, but he chose to have those two in place. So that while he's busy learning, he's also learning the other part. And degrees are going to be given for that too. But what is missing is the information hand from every one of us. The time you spend on your devices, I'm not saying you should minimize it, but you should use it much more to get things done better. We have interventions from government. When the HR career care was talking about a 1 month mentorship, some of you were like, 1 month? 1 month? It's going to be free, for crying out loud. And they're providing you this opportunity, which you will not have gotten elsewhere. So what I'm talking about?